Hello and welcome. This is me, Maury Elvington of Morph, Transform Your Reality. Welcome to Tuesdays with Maury. I'm happy that you're here. If you are here, I want you to remember that you're here for a reason. If you're stumbling upon my live, it's because something in you has called me to show up in your life. It's because something inside of you knows that you're ready for something different. It's because something inside you is telling you, okay, I'm ready. We're in a time in our world right now where things are so chaotic, and all we can do is trust our knowing. And so what I wanted to do with today's live is to really hunker in. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds like it could be a word. Kind of dive in to what you know and what your knowing is. Okay? And I'm going to share a little bit about myself. So this week, I've been doing a lot of, I'm on this no challenge. It's called the no judgment challenge. It's been really interesting. And I've been getting a lot of amazing awarenesses from it. And I woke up on, I've been doing this for over a week now. I started last Monday. And it's really clearing and releasing the judgments from your body. Everywhere we're holding judgments in the body. And doing this work, I'm so aware of how much your body, our body, my body holds on to judgments, to beliefs, to traumas. And it's been amazing to just really witness, for maybe the first time really, to really witness how much our body is the key to the things that we hold ourselves back from doing. And I work with women all over the world about clearing and healing their traumas, their fears in their body. But so many times they come to me for the issues that arise, that stem from those traumas, right? For the anxiety, for the depression, for the body pain. So it's like those beliefs, those traumas are just underneath the surface. And so many times we're not aware that that's what's causing us to feel the way we feel, to experience the experiences that we're going through, right? And so I woke up on Saturday morning and I had this really sad dream about loss. It was this big dream of loss, and I woke up crying, and that never happens to me. My dreams are very vivid. A lot of times I believe I do a lot of work in my dreams, a lot of play, right? But I woke up and I had so much sorrow. Now, before I keep going, I forgot to say hello to you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And if throughout this conversation you feel like somebody else would really benefit from this conversation, please share and tag them, or tag me if you're watching this on a replay. Please tag me so I can thank you personally, because really my mission in life is to create this, I don't want to say utopian world, but it's about coming together, because that is my mission. My mission really, truly is to help as many women overcome this crap, overcome the nonsense of this reality, overcome the beliefs of what this reality tells us we can and can't do, be or can't be. And everywhere we buy and align to that, because that's what happens, right? We can say affirmations as much as we want, we can do vision boards, but if we don't really clear stuff that is preventing us from connecting to our true essence and really reclaiming that matriarch power that we have, right? We aren't going to align to attract, to vibrate the way we want to attract and vibrate. And that is my goal with what I do, is to raise the vibration on our planet, to raise our vibration for women, because the minute women realize that we are the key to change this whole reality. Because the minute we reestablish our connection to the energy of creation, reestablish our connection to our inner, to our essence, then men can also start connecting on their end, right? There's so much aligning and resisting and reacting that it's like we're performing these roles. And so many times, where do you stop and ask yourself, what role am I performing right now, right? Like, whose life am I living? Whose beliefs am I creating as my own? And so that's why this live is so important, because it's about your knowing, okay? And so back to my dream. I woke up with all this sorrow, and in my dream, it was about a breakup. And my immediate reaction was to go to, my husband. But I knew something in me. I was trusting my knowing, right? Even though he was in the dream and it was kind of about him, but not really. And, we've been having our stuff, I think every married couple, especially at this time of our life, where we have 3 little kids, we're both, have independent businesses, we're both working really hard and, kind of creating our dreams. Sometimes it's hard to find time to connect. And I think a lot of that was in there, but it was more than that, right? It was a lot deeper than that. But I knew that it wasn't about him. And I walked around with this big sadness. Like every time I would think about it, I started crying. I was listening to songs on the radio and tears were coming, streaming down my face. And I was like, whoa, And the greatness here was that I didn't align and agree. I didn't resist and react. I was just there. I was feeling the sadness. I was asking questions, right? Like, first I started with, who does it belong to, right? Maybe it's not even mine. And where did I buy this as my own? I was using my tools that were coming as I was playing with this energy. And by now I know that when big energies like that come on and big energies like that appear in my life, I know that there's something underneath there that I'm processing. There's stuffing underneath there that I'm clearing, right? So if you've ever had this kind of situation in your life where you just knew that there's something underneath there that you wanted to look into, just, mention in the comments. I would love to hear if you've ever experienced anything like this. But as I was going through this, right, and really releasing and being aware and kind of, journaling with myself and asking questions. And in the past, I would immediately go into judgment of my husband, judgment of me for, oh, he's not doing enough, or I'm not doing enough, or we're not doing enough to be in this relationship, whatever it is, right? All the judgments that this reality tells us, that are true for us when they're not, right? Going into, how my parents interacted in their marriage. I think going into how his parents interact in their marriage, right? There's so much that goes on energetically and in our brain when stuff happens, when we are met with big emotional feelings. And the key for me has been to just observe. It's so easy to kind of confuse our emotions with our intelligence, because the minute our emotions are so high, it's like our brain kind of checks out. If you ever have the people that kind of push your buttons, and when they push those buttons, you just kind of lose it. Man, I have that sometimes with my 8-year-old, right? She knows how to push the buttons. And there's a part of me that says, well, that's karma, man. You were just as, intense when I was a kid, But when I can allow it, when I can just be space, when I can just be ease with it, it changes the whole dynamic. So here I am, trusting my knowing, using my tools, asking the questions. And I haven't actually talked to my husband about it. I didn't even bring it up. I was like, he felt that I was sad. He's like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just processing some stuff. And he was giving me space for that, which I really admire that he could just give me that space, because sometimes it's so easy to get into your own judgment when your partner is going through something. You immediately blame yourself, or, what did I do wrong? And he was just really allowing, which was amazing. And I love that we're in a place in our relationship when we can do that, when we really allow each other to process our things. We're there to support, but really we know that we know. And so after a few days, I had this big realization that it was just all this. I lost my father when I was 9. And I guess my body was just holding on to a lot of that grief. And it was locked in my body. And I was doing this, I was telling you this challenge for 14 days of getting rid of judgments. And I wasn't aware of how much of that grief was just locked in my body. And it was so intense. And the awareness of that was like, it opened all this space in my body. It opened all this space in my life. And I the minute I was aware of that, I just let it go. And it was so amazing. Now, this happened when I was 9 years old. We lock so many things in our body that we're not aware of. We walk around with this weight. So many things happen to us that we can't even fathom. I'm going to share with you, I was working with a client the other day, and she has this big fear of doctors, and we're doing some work together, and she traced back her fear from doctors to when she was 2 years old, and she got, I think, one of her vaccines, and her knowing, right, didn't want to get that vaccine. Her knowing, even at the age of 2, your infinite being, your knowing it's there and it knows what it wants. And your body knows what it desires. But at 2, you don't have the words, right? At 2 years old, you can't tell your mom, no, I'm not doing that, right? You don't have that power. But those memories and that impact stays in your body, okay? And it becomes a pattern to not trusting your knowing because, your parents didn't trust your knowing when you were 2, right? It's these subconscious patterns that create the situations in our life that we have right now. And by really healing this stuff from the body is the key here, okay? The body is holding on. And as I'm talking, you might really connect to what I'm saying. You might feel it in your body. There might be tightness. And sometimes we're so disconnected from our body because it's so painful to be in our body. Man, I've been there. When I just started doing my healing work, I would disconnect from my body all the time. I was a pro. I could sit in a room and talk, and it's like my being wouldn't be there. I don't know how to explain it. Energetically, I would disconnect. And it took me a while to learn to really connect in my body, be in my body, and not to be in pain in my body. So again, if you're experiencing anything like that, please share. I would love to hear from you. And so I want to invite you, and I'm going to ask you now, what do you know that if you acknowledged that you knew would create a completely different reality for you and for your body? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that right now, would you now just try and uncreate it all, please? Yes. Right or wrong, good or bad, pan, pak, all 9 short boys and beyonds. Awesome. And just feel that. And I want to invite you to play. How about you play between now and next Tuesday when we meet again? Let's play and just ask yourself every day, what do I know? Body, what do you know? Okay, and write it down, journal about it. Get the awareness and start following that knowing, because when you open that door, you would be so amazed at the information that you start receiving. And if you can put the judgment aside, the fear aside, the trauma aside, and really let that information go through you, you would be amazed at what you can create and what life you can aspire to and create to have, and how you start vibrating on a completely different level. So I invite you to play with this. Now I'm having this vision. I got this channel to me this week that I'm supposed to create an ark. We're going biblical up in here. An energetical ark. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I don't know what it feels like. I just know that our world right now is in a state where we need you. We need you to shine your light. We need you to be the beacon, the lighthouse that you are. We need you to step into that role that you came here to do. Again, if you are listening to this live right now, it's because something in you is calling you to be here. And I want you to just acknowledge that for a second. Don't dismiss it. Don't judge it. Just be with that information. And I'm going to start creating this energetical arc. And the way I vision it is the more of us coming together in this arc setting. It might be a group. It might be like a communion where we can come together maybe once a week and energetically connect to each other and create more of that energy for our planet and for the world and for everything we want to create. It's going to be this, the idea is the more of us come together, the bigger change we can make. So look up for that. It's going to appear at some point. Maybe the next week or so. Probably in my bio somewhere you'll find a link to the arc. Join the arc. I don't know. So I keep getting that we need to build an ark, right? Noah's ark was a sign of possibility, a sign of new beginnings, a sign of prosperity, right? And a lot of people chose not to be part of that. But you can choose to be something, you could choose to be part of something bigger and greater right now. Now is the time. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope this was a contribution for you. Again, if it was, please share. I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for taking the time and healing those places in you that are calling for attention. I'm here to support you. I love you, and I hope to see you in person one day. Bye.